And now, ladies and gentlemen,
Put your thumbs up and say it's TicketyBoo.
TicketyBoo.
TicketyBoo, TicketyBoo, everything's TicketyBoo.
TicketyBoo, son. TicketyBoo.
TicketyBoo. Welcome to TicketyBoo, the podcast with unscripted conversations from people who've actually lived it. I'm Andy Griffiths, and alongside Iona Russell and Ian Young, we're three therapists, but more than that, we're just three people trying to make their way through life like everyone else. In each of these episodes, we talk honestly about our own experiences with mental health, relationships, fear, growth, and all the stuff that we tend to stick away in the closet. We're not here to fix you, we're here to make you feel just a little bit less alone and maybe give you a few things to think about along the way. And in today's episode, I am really looking forward to this one. We're asking the strange question, has ChatGPT become the new Oracle? Mm-hmm. Like, guys, are we genuinely at a point where we ask ChatGPT now how to live our lives?
Me, not so much because I'm a technophobe, but wow, the kids and nearly everybody else I know, they put everything into ChatGPT. At work, we were sat just having a bite to eat last week and talking to somebody, one of my colleagues, and they've put in about... They're actually putting in about medical conditions, everything from like, oh, why do I feel this way? You know,
well, there's a lot out there
me,
saying, will ChatGPT replace therapists?
Yeah. Well, and I think sadly people are using ChatGPT for that. But I mean, remember when Google was first like, oh my gosh, everybody's asking Google questions instead of, remember back in the day we used to have to go and research it, go to the library to do all that, and we've lost that. And I feel that we're losing a lot of our critical thinking and not being able to analyze things ourselves. But it's I think people get caught in that because they feel so understood, but also it's responding to you. It learns what answers.
It's immediate, but the problem is, are we not using it instead of our friends, our therapists, our mentors? We're going to that instead. So not just like, what should I have for dinner, but what's my sole purpose? Am I okay? Am I heading in the right direction? What should I do? Should I dump my boyfriend? Should I still stay friends with this person? Should I quit my job? Is that not fraught with danger?
Yeah.
It scares the life out of me.
Yeah, I'm getting all the advice from TikTok or from, everyone's like, oh, but TikTok said, or this proves that, whether there can be healthy behaviours that are being reinforced, but there can also be unhealthy behaviours because we know there's algorithms, and ChatGPT learns as well from what you've said and experience.
The thing is, I think ChatGPT is a great tool, but it is a tool.
It is a tool.
And it needs to be used correctly and not be taken verbatim that it's correct. But does this lead into a bit of a deeper level conversation that maybe it's not so much about the technology, it's not so much about ChatGPT, it's more about how lonely we've all become and how disconnected we've become in our decision-making processes?
Yeah. Those decisions that once upon a time you've had in a pub or just walking the dog with somebody over dinner, and now you're having these conversations with the screen with effectively yourself. It's not... I don't think it's healthy personally.
I think the problem is a lot of the time ChatGPT just agrees with you.
Yeah.
It's also not correct. Now, my personal issue with it, like I said, I know very little, I'm a technophobe, but everything is so plausible. That's what concerns me. So there's a whole world of information out there, and ChatGPT, you ask it a question, and it goes out into this world of this ridiculous amount of information beyond what most of us can conceive. And it brings back the facts, but then it fills in the gaps with what it thinks is a good, plausible answer.
It makes things up,
and that doesn't make it correct.
Yeah.
So, but because it's so plausible in the way it's delivered, you believe it, even though it's not correct, because you're just putting too much faith in this AI.
So has ChatGPT then kind of become with the instant answers like the Amazon Prime and the Deliveroo?
Yeah.
Of course, it's
food, products, emotional solutions.
The world has become about instant gratification. We don't wait for anything. We don't save for anything anymore. It's all instant.
Yeah.
And it's even now got to the point now where that's in our, where we find ourselves spiritually for the answers within ourselves. We don't go out and search for the answers. We just put it in ChatGPT and it tells us.
The thing is, if you're feeling a little bit alone or lost, anxious, depressed, overwhelmed, and ChatGPT's there on the screen, and you ask it a question and it responds straight away, some kind of level in that moment, you feel seen.
And you can feel understood, and you get me. No one else gets me.
So you kind of start this unhealthy relationship with a machine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's what we're really talking about here, isn't it? Rather than it provides balanced context in a situation, but not the context.
Yeah, because as humans, we want to belong, we want to feel accepted, we want to feel connected. Like we have that psychological need, and then if we're having that need, we believe, met by talking to AI, therefore we feel like we belong, we feel like we're understood, we don't feel alone. But actually we're then isolating ourselves more and more and having these conversations, which could be amazing existential conversations and looking for a deeper meaning and purpose. We're actually turning to AI to ask the questions.
Well, that's it. And the thing is, it's not always about the answer.
No.
It's about the learning in getting to that answer. So we fire something into ChatGPT, you've got the answer. Well, the answer was never really the point. A lot of it was about how you come to find that answer within yourself, or what you learn along the way. So it's the same as anything. If you've got something with a load of answers but nothing to back it up, it's shallow, it's not robust, it's got no substance behind it. And this is what worries me. And the other thing is, considering I says I don't know about ChatGPT, which I don't, but I'm going to get on my soapbox about it.
Go for it.
But using the same context of being able to back up your learning, that then takes me down the road of people doing courses and learning. But instead of going out and doing the full learning, they're hitting it into ChatGPT.
Teach me how to do this.
Yeah. And then at what point does that actually, people start writing up papers and what have you, based on papers that have been written, which have come off ChatGPT? How deeply ingrained are these mistakes that are made?
So are we looking for information and bypassing connection?
Well,
I think that can be the issue, yes.
Yeah.
Because through learning, if you decide to go on a course, there's connection, isn't there? The people you learn with, the people that teaches you. So you can take information in without connection. It becomes quite soulless, doesn't it, the whole thing?
But when you're researching something, same as this applies to connection as well. So not only you don't just write a load of quotes down to quote what somebody said. You learn about the person, the background of the person that made those quotes, what qualified them to say, why they are a qualified person to follow what they say. If you're just going straight to the quote, you have got none of that surrounding information. You've just got the answer, and this is what I think he's wrong.
And this is a real world thing. It's something that was relayed to me back to a client where her daughter went on ChatGPT and said, "Should I dump my boyfriend?" And ChatGPT said, "Why?" And she gave it some loose context, and it basically went, "Based on what you've told me, yes."
Oh my gosh, this reminds me of the episode of Friends. Remember where Ross is having to make a list of the pros and cons of being with Rachel? And she finds out, and of course, she's devastated. It's the next level. Now we're asking, AI, should I or shouldn't I be with this person?
But at what point does it turn us into, it's just going to strip you out and make you into zombies.
Yeah.
That's that's going too far with it, I know. But this is, as an old person looking at technology, this is, scarred by all the Terminator movies.
I think the danger is, let's go old school. At one point, we had A to Z street maps.
Yeah.
Then we got A to Zs. We got rid of the A to Zs and we got sat-nav, which is a great tool. A great tool. The problem is, if that tool ever disappeared, do we lose the ability to then problem solve and read a map and find our own way? Yeah. Has ChatGPT become the sat-nav of the A to Z world?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course. And on a slightly different note, but on the same vein, mobile phones. How many phone numbers do we actually remember?
None, hardly.
Exactly. That part of my cognitive function is gone.
Yeah.
Because I don't use it. So I've lost it.
But when,
And
when
this-
we were kids, we remembered friends' phone numbers, relatives'
Oh,
phone
yeah.
numbers because we had to, unless,
Yeah.
parents had like a phone book with it written in or whatever, but you did have a bank of phone numbers in your head, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep, absolutely. So that's again the kind of thing. If you're not using it, are you going to lose it?
Well, I can remember-
Or are you creating capacity for something else, which actually makes it more efficient?
But, you're talking about the phone numbers, bizarrely. I can remember phone numbers from my childhood,
Yeah, me too.
friends,
Yeah.
first home, my grandparents, numbers I haven't used for years and years and years. But like, for example, I don't know your phone number.
That really hurts.
It's a choice.
Blocked.
But I talk to you a lot. But I don't need to remember your number because something else will remember the number for me. And that's just a small inkling of how this can start to shift, isn't it? But when we were kids, I had to remember your number because it was the only way I could get hold of you, unless I came around to your house. So really the conversation is about getting people to think a bit differently about it. It's a tool to reflect, to give context, but you need to give it context as well. If you want to ask it a question, to say, I am thinking, make this decision. This is where I'm at. I've got this idea. I've got this idea. I've got this idea. Don't ask it for the answer. Go, do you think I've missed anything? Is there anything else I should be thinking about to help you add colour to the picture, but not paint the whole picture for you?
Yeah, you can't take it as fact.
Yeah.
And also, it's about, as you say, it's about what you input, because also you're asking, following this sort of line of questioning, and you need to go, and this is the training I have already, this is my experience, like ask me, and then ask me one by one 10 questions about, so you can get to understand my deeper experience, so that you can answer this better. Because if you just put a vague answer question in,
Well, why don't we have a bit of fun?
Okay.
Why don't we, I've got ChatGPT in front of me, why don't we do this properly and ask ChatGPT a question?
okay.
Go on then.
We'll be a bit tongue-in-cheek with it and see where it goes. So the question to ChatGPT is, based on your infinite wisdom and all of your training, am I the drama?
Okay.
I can give you the answer.
Don't need ChatGPT on this one. Oh, it's thinking. It's thinking. Oh, I like the first line. If you're even asking me that, you're probably not the drama. Right, end of episode.
I wasn't where I was going.
So what does it say? Real drama never stops to ask, wait, am I the problem here? Drama just storms in, flips a table and convinces itself it's the victim. Maybe you might be, what you might be is the one who notices the drama. That's interesting, yeah. The one who feels tension before anyone names it. Maybe you carry the weight of trying to keep the peace, or you're the one calling out the stuff others ignore, and that can look like drama to people who'd rather stay comfortable. So the better question is, are you stirring the pot for attention, or are you the only one brave enough to point out the taste is off?
God blimey, no wonder us therapists are being replaced with ChatGPT. That was pretty damn good.
I use ChatGPT as a business tool, so it kind of knows me. Now, like if you ask that question on yours, you're going to get a very different answer.
Yep.
But whatever it said to me, I'm not going to go, right, that's it. That's exactly what I need to go and do. I'm going to, I don't ask it those kind of questions. Because some of it's profound. But some of the stuff, it does allow me to reflect. Doesn't mean I'll pick it. I think when you lose you in the decision-making process, that's the issue, isn't it?
Well, when ChatGPT becomes your guru and knows everything, and you're going to live your life according to it, as opposed to your own value system, your own truth, your own desire for connection.
Looking at this, I'm thinking, do you think people ever actually look at the other people around them and think, why am I going to bother to having this conversation with you? What am I going to ask you? When I can get a far better answer off my phone? Or, I mean, do you think, I'm not putting it very well, but when you've got all this information close at hand and you can get answers like that, do you think actually the value of asking a friend in a pub has disappeared.
Well, yeah, it has, because there's a difference between sort of reflecting on it, or maybe asking the question, and then just outsourcing your whole gut instinct to a chatbot.
Yeah.
Rather than say anything, I'll talk to ChatGPT and see what they say, and I'll do it later on when I'm sat on the bog.
Yeah. But where's the fun in being the guy that knows everything, you know? And that's kind of.
But the thing is,
pub.
Yeah,
Every pub has one of those.
Yeah.
but if we're on, if you're the person that spent your life maybe been a bit unsure or lacking in confidence, even though it's artificial confidence, that could feel like clarity to you.
Yeah,
Which could feel like certainty.
if you don't, again, if you're filling in the gaps, you don't feel interested, you don't feel seen. How do I do it? Instead of being authentically and searching out who I am and what I want to talk about, I'll become a know-it-all. And
So,
just Google it.
well, where's the line then between helpful and harmful? Because that's the thing, isn't it? Here?
When we stop thinking for ourselves, when we stop making our own learnings, when we sort of start to lose our sense of purpose and need to learn, that's where society's going to fall on its backside.
It's so true. And like the other day, I asked ChatGPT to do something for me, and it got it wrong. And I pointed it out, and he went, "You're so right." Which basically just says, what? So you're always wrong then, ChatGPT? The reason I flagged that up is to show you the madness of sitting behind going, well, ChatGPT said that. Because if you went back and went, you're wrong, he goes, do you know what, you're right. Because it will always agree with you unless you tell it not to agree with you.
Yeah, when you ask it to be critical or to be brutal or to,
One of my students yesterday on the course was saying to me, she was building a new coaching website, and it got ChatGPT to roast her website, to be brutal with her. And he goes, it was really useful because it came back and it went, what the hell does this mean? And it was like a phrase she used on the website, and she's like, well, that's actually a good point. Now, to me, that's using a tool quite smartly.
Yeah, that's really smart. I do
Because it delivered it with maybe you should think about not using that phrase because it doesn't make any sense. It was like, this is utter twaddle, change it. But that's the difference between using a tool, isn't it? It's that phrase. If the only tool you've got in your toolbox is a hammer, you treat everything like it's a nail.
Yeah.
You need to have many tools in your toolbox. But I do think it can help you with the bigger picture. But the problem is with AI and emotional stuff, I don't know, it's just, to me, my opinion, it's fraught with danger.
Yeah, I agree.
It's fraught with danger.
Definitely.
And is it one of those you keep putting questions in until you get the answer you really want to hear?
Yeah.
I think that's the truth, isn't it? Until it agrees with you, you will keep chatting with it till you get to that place you've already come to yourself.
Yeah, but it's you don't need something that agrees with you all the time. Now, if I was to put, like, for example, writing a CV, and I could put in all the things about me and say, make this sound professional.
Make Ian sound intelligent.
Yeah, it's not that good. That would be artificial intelligence. I could do a bit of that. I've lost where I was going now. That was the first good point I've made all day. First good point, and you
stole your thunder. Go on, back to your CV.
That was just a side point. That was you proper just done me.
So bringing us back to the point.
Yeah, sorry.
It's do you both think that possibly for our listeners as well is if they find they're going to ChatGPT all the time, maybe just to ask us, to be aware, are you looking for connection and belonging? And if you are, where could you nurture that elsewhere? Just to be practical.
I think, my opinion, is in a lot of cases, there's no such thing as a perfect answer.
No.
And it's an opinion. There's just the answer that you come up with. And if you're searching for the perfect answer and you keep searching within ChatGPT, I think you go down a bit of a rabbit hole with it.
If you're looking for an answer, if you're looking for the answer that you want, so
you already know the answer.
you already know the answer.
Yeah.
You just don't want to face it.
Yeah.
And two, what you need is not a computer. You need a proper friend, a proper person to talk to, a mentor. And the reason I say that is because you need somebody that's going to mirror you. And when I say mirror you, don't just agree with everything that you say, but actually allow you to reflect and see where you need growth.
Or do you think you really need somebody to go, hey, have you maybe thought about it this way?
Yeah.
Have you, maybe stop for a moment to think maybe over here there could be something? Because that's certainly not the way that ChatGPT talks to me. It's like, hey, there is something else over here, by the way, and you should maybe take a look, because I think that's where your answer may lie. Have you thought about that? And I think that human element is something that a machine can't bring.
I agree. Context, look in the eye, someone looking you in the eye, touch on the shoulder, a hug.
Yep.
The things that are all forms of communication that are often as important to me as the words that are said.
So what we're really saying is that the true answers don't come from an algorithm. They'll come when you're brave enough to speak the truth out loud, or to go for your gut. It's probably, your internal ChatGPT is your gut instinct. Your gut will kind of keep you right. Have you used it? I don't want to move into this, ChatGPT is good or bad, because to me it's neutral.
Yeah.
We're not saying that at
Absolutely.
all. Have you used it in a way that's really helped you in life?
Yeah, I use it for a lot of my brainstorming ideas around business strategy or ideas, and asking through the lens of an expert marketer, let's say, or expert copywriter. So I'm giving it the information and the lens I want it to look through. So it saves me a lot of time. And I always ask it to, like, look, what am I missing? What haven't I considered? Because I find in that sense, it helps me so much with, like, and copywriting on my website. Or
do you know what I did with it the other week?
What?
I had a training manual which has got about 700 odd pages in it, and in the footer note, I wanted to change the text in the footer note, and for whatever reason, Word was just not having it, or it was messing around with the page layout, and I was an hour and a bit into it, and I went to ChatGPT and he went, hey ChatGPT, could you help me? I've got this issue with the Word document. He went, yeah, sure, upload it and I'll do it. And I'm like, really? Upload it? And he went, bing, and it had done it, and I just spent an hour and a half of my life messing around with Word, and it just went doof, and it just did it. And I'm like, to me, that's how that tool should be used.
it can save us so much time.
Yeah. Sometimes I use it if I'm preparing to maybe do some teaching or a presentation, I'm doing a presentation today, here's all my context. Can you think of anything of value that I could add in?
Yeah.
I'll use it like that. So a board to sound stuff off.
Definitely.
To give me inspiration, to give me ideas, but I've done 99.9% of the lifting. It's just doing the other.
I actually did that with a talk I put together about maybe success isn't enough. So it's about, the deeper meaning and what else can we have? And it gave me some, I said, I think I need some quotes. It'd be really great. So, I uploaded the whole talk, came back with these amazing quotes. It came back with some amazing statistics. I was like, oh, wow, can you tell me where you sourced that? Turned out it had completely made it up. So I caught it. I didn't go and put it in because I didn't want to get caught out. So you can have a laugh at, but they were great. They backed up what I was saying in the talk, but they weren't appropriate. So it's just but you can make it work with you.
Yeah.
Rather than for you.
Have you used it in? I know you're not big into tech, but have you used it? Have you used it in a way of going, that was worthwhile?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Certainly, when I was trying to get this job through planning, I was having an absolute nightmare with the local councils and highways and what have you. And it was just a really good way of making my ramblings sound professional, and that was because I was having to present myself to people outside of my usual circle. I'm sat there along the lines of, I want to stick my boot up your jacksie, and then I put all that in the details, and that made it a lot more professional in a way that invited a response.
Here's what's in my head.
Yeah.
Formulate it in a way that I can get the message across. Yeah.
Without getting me arrested. So I like it like, and then only over on the one occasion, when I was saying I was feeling a bit low, actually, I got it to write a poem to express how I felt about something. And do you know what? He was absolutely brilliant. He so articulately put the words in, and
Brilliant.
because I weren't in a great place, and I was conflicted by so many different sort of points of view, emotions, hurt, stress. And then literally it's put it into poem, and it's just beautifully and articulately put it in to a way that not only did it help me just understand it a little bit, by letting somebody else close to me read it, they got where I was coming from.
Oh yeah,
In a way
great
that
way to get a message across.
But that's again, that's going down the personal route. But it did, as much as I say one thing.
If it gets you
conflicting
to
it.
where you need to be, that's the key thing. I think we can use ChatGPT and Google and all of these things to figure out the meaning of life.
Do you know, there is actually something else I do. With probably about 4 or 5 therapy clients now, some of their issues have been coming from the family environment or people within the home life.
Yeah.
And they're putting pressure on because they see them as this problem and not as a person anymore. So the way they're treating them is feeding the problem and making it worse. But they don't know how to say it. And so I will say to them, everything that you're feeling, put it into ChatGPT and just see what comes back, because it would be a great way of, if you want me to read it first, that's not a problem. And 4 or 5 of my clients have actually done that and been able to get across to the one was a husband and the rest have been sort of parents.
Yeah.
But I have actually used it as a tool in the therapy room. So again, I'm conflicting.
Yeah, no, I understand what you're saying, but in the end, healing, change work, decisions, that really can be and should be a bit of teamwork.
Yeah.
And okay, like you've just said, ChatGPT may have a really good bedside manner, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's the bedside manner you need at that point in time.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's a really good chat. As I said, it's not about saying, is AI right or wrong? It's just a tool and it's there. I think if it becomes the only tool, that's the problem. And in the next episode, we are actually talking about life advice and why it's everywhere, including ChatGPT. Yeah. So we hope you've enjoyed this episode, and we look forward to catching up with you in the next one. Thanks for watching.
If you or someone close to you needs to access mental health support, please contact your GP, or if it's out with normal office hours, get in touch with NHS 24 on 111. Alternatively, contact the Samaritans on 116 123. All calls are free of charge from any phone. You can also find more support information on the TicketyBoo website, ticketyboopodcast.co.uk.